by car, and welcome to Inverness. Where are you going? Right, Ian's just riding around in circles, I'm not too sure why, but at some point we'll find our way out of this multi-story. Inverness Castle tomorrow morning. That's where it all starts. Start of the NC500, day one, sun is shining. The headwind is insane! Just stopped for lunch, baked potato, the headwind, little cafe called the Midge Bite, terrible name if you ask me, but very welcome drink. Very windy. Coming into Lochcarron, this is going to be home for tonight. Day one in the bag. Whoa! Well, let's just say I'm ready to get off the bike now, for sure. Oh, right, where's this bloody campsite? Good morning, day two, leaving Lochcarron after a full Scottish breakfast, which was very delicious. This morning we have mighty, the infamous, probably quite challenging Bealach. So yeah, let's do it, day two. We're just hacking up unnamed hill, which is quite steep nonetheless, and then we'll go back down to sea level, and then we'll start the longest, I think this might be one of the longest climbs in the UK, certainly one of the toughest. well into the clouds now, probably about 2/3 of the way up Bealach. Absolutely stunning, and whilst it's a shame we're not getting the views, the lower half were spectacular, and it's really atmospheric up here. There's big drops. Maybe they're not actually big drops, but they feel like big drops to the side. And Ian's coming up somewhere behind me, and I think it ramps up at the top. There's a few double-digit grades, and going up to I think 20% on some of the hairpins. Nice and steady. What a climb. I mean, deserves its fierce reputation is all I can say. And no, not even at the top yet. Okay, I'm going to put my camera away because I need my other arm back big time. And about 10 miles from Torridon, just gone through Applecross, down or up the peninsula. It's absolutely stunning. There comes Ian, and we're just about to head over this little pass down into down onto the coast and then through to Torridon. It's got to be some of the nicest roads in the world, to be honest. But they're tough. Good morning, it's day 3 and we're just leaving Shieldaig, heading towards Lochcarron and then north again up towards Laide, I think it is. It's the destination for today. Weather-wise it's the worst day of the tour, we think. Got up, it was raining, packed away, it was raining. Had breakfast, it was raining outside, and we've just shut off, and you guessed it, quite heavy rain. But if this turns out to be the only bad day weather-wise, I think we can live with that. So yeah, day 3. Another tough day, it's lots of hills, it's quite steep gradients I think en route. Still waking up to be honest, but looking forward to another day cycling the Scottish Highlands. Good morning, good morning. It's day 4 and we've just left Laide. No luck with breakfast. Cafe was closed. Tiny little place. But we did find the little post office. So little all day breakfast sandwich and a lukewarm cup of coffee was breakfast. Anyway, on to Ullapool today, and our target for the day is just north of there actually. Weather's improving, wouldn't say it's great, but certainly better than yesterday. Let's go, day 4. Miles are flying past at this rate. Not really sure if it comes across on camera. It might just look like the Highlands are Highlands are Highlands every day, but every day really is different so far on this trip. Today is just, well, you can see for yourself. Just a very special place to ride a bike. Good morning, good morning. It's day 5 and look what happened. The sun's come out for the first time on the trip practically. We've got a big day ahead today. We're on a schedule and we're actually a little bit ahead of schedule. What we're going to try and do is make up a full day today. So we're going to try and get into the schedule for day 7 by the end of today. Probably not recommended because it's quite a lot of miles and it is steep, but it'll really break the back of the tour and hopefully make for some easy days to follow. So that's the plan. Full of breakfast, got a bit of energy in the legs so far, and we'll see what happens. Oh, big hill. way past 8 o'clock and we're just rocking into Scourie, which is our destination. Hopefully we'll find somewhere to camp overnight. That's a really long one. I hate to think how much up we've done today. It's life in the Highlands. It's the real deal. But you know, it's still light. Good morning, good morning. It's day 6 and we're heading up to Durness, which is right on the north coast. Had a really epic day yesterday, which has cleared the way for a really gentle, easy day today, by Highland standards obviously. The weather's really good, it was really sunny this morning, really warm, kept the midges away. Looking forward to another day cycling in this beautiful part of the world. For chocolate bars in your panniers. Today's lunch stop. Of anticipation here. We're just closing on Durness and I think that's where we'll just pop out on the north coast. So from starting over on the east in Inverness and then out to Applecross on the west coast, and then the last few days, 5 days, we've just been making our way up the northwest coast. Just past the sign for ferries to Cape Wrath, which I think is right up the far northwestern point. It's getting mighty windy. I think we're picking up that breeze, and I reckon it won't be long before we see the north coast proper. Welcome to Durness. We made it. It's only about 3:30 on day 6. Really easy day today, just what we needed. I suspect we're going to go and knock around the beach for a while and then go to the pub and plan out the final couple of days on the North Coast 500. So this guy yesterday asked a cyclist bumped into in a shop. He said, "Why are you doing the NC500?" And I didn't really have an answer, but part of the reason is just, I mean, look at this place. If you're fit enough and you're not averse to bit of cycling, and it really is one of the most beautiful parts of the world to come and ride a bike in. Miles an hour. Wow, man, what a place to cycle. Apparently this giant squid that eat cars around here doesn't say anything about cyclists. Okay. I got the whole of the Highlands to myself today! I don't usually film on the hills because it's not so easy, but just to give you a bit of a reality check about this route. There's some really steep climbs like this one. There's so many actually. You might do 20 of these each day. Good afternoon. It's day 8 and not really done any filming today. All my electrics have basically run out of juice. We just stopped for lunch and I managed to power a couple of things up. It's our last day and we're just cutting across from Thurso down to Wick, which is the destination for today and where we're going to end our ride. A couple of reasons, the main two being time and the need to get back to the day job, unfortunately, but also we've both cycled that little bit from Wick down to Inverness down the A9 on the end-to-end tour a couple of years ago, so we're quite happy to finish at Wick and we'll hop on the train tomorrow. I managed to dive into Thurso to get the tickets, which was great, really helpful. Lady at, what do you call it, the reception booking office place spotted the bikes, reminded me that it's mandatory in Scotland to book bikes on trains, so got all that sorted out and yeah, we're good to go for tomorrow. And I don't think I'll do a great deal of filming today, but I might just drop a few little comments and thoughts about this this tour. I'm sure if you've seen any of the little clips that I've taken, you probably get the impression we've quite enjoyed ourselves, had a great trip. We're pretty impressed with this part of the world. I'll try and rack my brains a little bit and think about whether if you do, you know, if you're planning your own tour or you're thinking about doing the trip, or maybe following our itinerary, which I'll try and write down somewhere in the description to the videos. I'll try and think of a few little tips and comments that might come in handy. But for now, yeah, just picking our way, taking it easy down towards Wick. Maybe I'll say something about camping, bikes and the route itself. Alright, let's start with camping. So, the original plan we had was to do a bit of wild camping on route, but the weather's not been great, so it's been pretty cold every day. Probably by yesterday, where it was pretty warm in the sun, but still with a very fresh, pretty cold northwesterly breeze. So we didn't wild camp, we used campsites, and I have to say the campsites up here in Scotland are just absolutely brilliant. You can rock up as a cyclist, and I don't know whether this is just an understanding that all the campsites have, but you're always given a pitch. It looks like some of the campsites just reserve a couple of spaces for the kind of rock up cyclists. If you're in a place that's got motorhomes and caravans, facilities are generally fantastic. Really, really nice warm showers, you know, dishwash, all that sort of stuff, and a bit of laundry as well. We've, yeah, not had any problems with camping, and the fees have been ranging from like £5 a night with no facilities. Actually, that was Bettyhill, up to £12. I forget where that was, but yeah, I would say if you're going to camp, don't worry too much about the actual campsites and facilities side. And we didn't book anywhere in advance. I can't stress enough what a pain in the arse the midges are. In some places, it's not everywhere, but they are bad on the west coast, and as you get a bit further north, like Scourie, one of the places we stayed at, I mean, it seems to be like the midge capital of Scotland. Okay, so bikes. Ian's riding a Dawes touring bike, and I'm riding a Triburn RC 520, which I've spruced up a little bit and essentially converted it into a touring bike. Unless you're doing it really fast and light, you do need I'd say a really decent, well set up touring bike. Please, before you set off, make sure you replace, I'd actually suggest, no matter what condition your brake blocks or discs are in, just get a new set in there. There's a lot of descents where you really need to be controlling your speed. I put a new chain on mine, and I'm glad I did. Ian had actually a slight buckle in his back wheel, and didn't get a chance to sort it out before we left. And that has basically, over the last 8 days, turned into quite a serious buckle. Still rideable, and he'll sort it out. Really do make sure you set off with bikes in full working order, because you really don't want to have mechanicals around here, especially if the weather's bad and it's cold like it has been this week. Panniers. One thing we sort of found out on Ian's bike, which is news to me, is his new panniers, his new front panniers, didn't fit his pannier rack that he had on the bike. So you know, I wouldn't even known that was a thing. But make sure if you are buying new kit for this trip that you test it out. You'll probably see on the little clips that Ian's using just a backup set of front panniers. No bother, they've worked really well. But just things like do your panniers fit your pannier rack seems so obvious, and I would have never thought it was a thing that they wouldn't. But it is apparently. What else can I say about bikes? Oh yeah, one thing I did do before I left, I re-indexed the gears, but I mainly focused on the small ring because I knew there's going to be a lot of climbing on this trip. So I have a modified cassette on the back. I have an 1140, so a really big kind of dinner plate on the back. Again, we've come across cyclists trying to get around on really old like rally racers and beautiful bikes, and they've done really well, but you know, chatting to them in little cafes and stuff, they've been doing a lot of pushing on the hills because there's just no way you're going to get up the hills here without a decent kind of spread of gears on the back. So I mean, a typical road bike, I'd rather you than me, to be honest. I've got a compact, I think it's 5034, whatever the standard compact is on the front, and 1140 on the back, and it's been really, really good. As you can probably see, sorry, terrible camera work. I've got front and back panniers. Ian's got the same. I think if you're going in, if you're a couple or something and you're sharing stuff, one of you might get away with just rear panniers. Otherwise it is front and back if you're carrying your own stuff, which we are. You need to carry a bit of food. Not every stop in the evening has, I mean, if you're planning to do your own cooking anyway, you'll just have that covered, but what we've tried to do is stop in places where we could grab a breakfast before we leave or get an evening meal, but a couple of spots that hasn't been possible, so we've always made sure we've basically got a breakfast and an evening meal in our panniers at any time. I have just a handful of emergency Cliff Bars as well, which I think I took 3 on this trip and I'm down to 1, so do carry a bit of food with you. Just changing hands, my hand's getting really tired, and wiping my nose. Oh, what a glamorous video this is going to be. But yeah, all I'd say on bikes is, you know, make sure it's robust, decent gearing for the hills, which I might mention in a while, and just check that kind of kit matches bike components. So the route itself, this NC500 thingy, I'm not sure if it's originally designed to be a cycling route, but that being said, it is an absolutely amazing cycling route. If you're thinking about it, you're curious about it, you would like to train up to it, it's a very, very worthwhile trip to take, just because it's a fantastic part of the world and it's a fantastic place to ride your bike. As you may have picked up, I quite like sort of fairly solitary, windswept, you know, lonely open roads, that kind of thing. It's just my thing. I really enjoy those kind of places to cycle, and this route's got them in spades. The first day getting across to the west coast from Inverness was a beast actually for us, because we had a headwind all day, but you hit Applecross, you go up over the Bealach, and that deserves its classic climb status. It's absolutely amazing. The descent is wicked, frankly, down into Applecross, and then I guess the highlights for me have been the Applecross Peninsula, which was, you know, really quite something. There was a place we came through, which I'm gonna have to Google or something afterwards, called the Deep Freeze Mountains. Absolutely stunning. We had a I don't know, 2/3 of a day really cycling along that section. Torridon was amazing, and then just miles and miles of little coves and sea locks, and popping out onto the north coast itself. And I'd say from that, the day we popped out onto the north coast, the following day was just some of the most stunning riding that I think we've both done ever. So it really is, if you're into, you know, great views, coastal vistas, mountain glens, and these like long open windswept roads, it really is the route for you. It's fantastic. Okay, last comment on the hills. This is a very, very, very hilly route. I think one of the longest days we had, I might try and write which leg it was, I forget, but it was about 65 miles. We did nearly 7,000 feet of ascent, and that broke down into God knows how many climbs, but 14 of them were over 10%. Really, really, really bloody steep. They'd be noticeable on a road bike even if you weren't carrying camping equipment and food and clothing. So do mentally prepare for the hills. You probably won't see too many on my clips because I'm not very comfortable filming when I'm hacking up hills, and I might be giving the impression that the whole route is a kind of 20-25 mile an hour blast around the coast. It really isn't. There is that, but there is a lot of grinding up hills. You're really putting the effort in to power your bike up. It's very, very rewarding. Most of that effort is, you know, there are hills alongside absolutely spectacular views, and you know, particularly in the summertime, it's light until, it's actually light until gone 11, so you've got all day. You've got plenty of time, you can go at your own pace, but yeah, do be prepared for lots and lots and lots of hills. Good morning, good morning. It's day 9. It's not a cycling day today, it's going home day. Just at Wick station, and we're going to catch the 8 o'clock into Inverness, pick up the car and then start heading back down to Manchester. Legs pretty tired today. I'd be happy to jump on the bike obviously, but I'm also pretty happy to finish. And the great thing about doing these tours, I think, is you really look forward to getting back home, seeing friends and family, and getting back into the swing of things. It's nice to go away, but I think in the process of going away, it's really nice to get back home as well. So it's been a great tour. Tired, a lot to kind of catch up on, I think, when we get back, and some great kind of experiences and memories to pick over. And I look forward to seeing all these little silly clips that I've been making along the way. Yeah, so thanks a lot if you have found this video somehow. Thanks a lot for watching, and whatever you're doing on 2 wheels, just have fun, man. That's what it's all about. Bye.